Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. I want to thank all of these wonderful people behind me. We started out with a very small group and had so many people who wanted to join. My heart is incredibly grateful for them, and I want to note that they are all here in their personal capacity today to show their support. In these polarized times, it takes courage. It takes commitment for them to stand with me. I'm truly grateful for the work that they do tirelessly and selflessly, guiding those who want a better life and who want it here. So, a few things right at the start. JSO will be getting its funding for the mobile fingerprint machines that they need. Beyond that, this bill does nothing that federal and state law does not already do. There are elements of the bill that will likely draw the city into expensive lawsuits. There is language in the bill that is hurtful and stoking fear in immigrants who are living and working here lawfully. So to every immigrant living in Jacksonville, whether you have been here for decades or whether you have just arrived, I want you to hear this from your mayor. You belong, you matter, you are loved, and we will continue to stand with you. Now then, thank you all for being here, and I want to just say a further note about how I feel about the immigrant community. Immigrants are an important part of the beautiful mosaic that is Jacksonville. They contribute to our community. They pay $1.4 billion in taxes every year. That's here, by the way. That's in Jacksonville. They work hard. They invest in our city. They are entrepreneurs, and the facts are clear. Immigrants commit fewer crimes per capita than those of us who are native-born Americans. Like all of us, they also want violent criminals off the streets. Like all of us, they also want violent criminals off the streets. And JSO is doing an incredible job of doing just that. Our violent crime statistics continue to fall, and the sheriff and the women and men of JSO are to be commended. JSO has a very difficult job to do, and now they are being asked to do more. It has always been my position that we will provide the equipment and the resources that they need. So as I said, they will receive the funding for the 25 fingerprint scanners that have been requested. I wish that alone had been all 2025-147 was. But it isn't. It wasn't. Instead, it includes language that is hurtful, language that is performative, language that is performative but not substantive. There is nothing in this bill that isn't already required by federal or state law. And in fact, the state law already carries a harsher penalty. So why would JSO need to arrest someone under a new local ordinance when they already have a stronger state law? Jacksonville has always followed the law, and we will continue to do so as long as that law is constitutional. In fact, JSO has had an agreement with ICE since 2008, and sanctuary cities have been banned in Florida since 2019. I suspect you members of the media all know that. Any suggestion to the contrary is intentionally misleading. On top of it being redundant, this bill puts our local government in a lane where, frankly, it just does not belong. Courts have repeatedly ruled that immigration enforcement is a function of the federal government. By passing this ordinance, some of the same folks who like to lecture me about fiscal responsibility have put your tax dollars at risk of paying an expensive lawsuit. When those cases inevitably come, I'll remind our citizens how much money is being spent defending a law that does nothing that state and federal government isn't already doing. Money that could have been spent on your streets, your sidewalks, your small businesses, and making your housing more affordable. Right now, I'm hearing from people here lawfully who are terrified they will be swept up in all of this, whether it's meant for them or not. When people feel targeted, they are less likely to report crimes. They're less likely to seek medical help, send their children to school, or cooperate with police. That makes all of us less safe. I want to be crystal clear. I do not believe this bill is necessary, and I will not sign it. It will become law without my signature. Allowing it to become law without my signature does not impede law enforcement nor prevent them from doing their job in any way. It does keep my name from being attached to something that creates a sense of fear in immigrants living here lawfully. So why not veto it? Because it's a distraction that would delight those who want to fight our city's forward progress to further their own ambitions. I want to be clear, I am not afraid of that fight. I just don't think it is worth sacrificing all we have left to do in this city. We've accomplished so much, and there is so much left to do. I don't believe it is worth sacrificing all we have left to do over a bill that does not change anything. So I want to close where I began. Immigrants, many of whom I have had the privilege of welcoming during naturalization ceremonies, are a vital part of our city. In Jacksonville, they make up more than 12% of the population and help fuel our local economy with $4.1 billion in spending power. Jacksonville is also home to nearly 10,000 immigrant entrepreneurs. An immigrant owns 1 in 5 small businesses in our city. They are not our enemies. They are a big part of what makes Jacksonville strong. We must be a city that welcomes, a city that builds bridges, not walls, a city that leads with love and not fear. Each and every one of us comes from an immigrant family. You've heard me talk about mine. This is my family. They come here from Lebanon. They came here over a century ago, searching for a better life. And like so many others, they worked hard, and they built a foundation for the next generation. That spirit of resilience and hope is alive in our immigrant families today. We will continue to educate on lawful immigration. We will work with our legal community to deepen engagement and protect constitutional rights. We will celebrate the rich, vibrant cultures that make Jacksonville shine, and we will defend every community from scapegoating and fear-mongering. I am the mayor of Jacksonville, all of Jacksonville, and I will ensure that our city lights the path toward citizenship today, that we celebrate the new citizen tomorrow, and that we always lead with love.